was a match between two teams which were looking to end their losing streak. Now, one team had lost five on the trot, the other team was trying to avoid a hat trick of defeats. That is, Delhi Capitals, being the host, had lost four straight games, and KKR, after a pretty decent start, they lost the last two games. So, if you look at the strength of the teams, obviously, KKR was supposed to be, holding the edge ahead of a team which had too many issues to deal with. Delhi Capitals, right from day one, they have had their issues. Their regular wicketkeeper Rishabh Pant was not available, and thereafter the wicketkeeper that they took, a very young Turk, and I mean, personally, I thought that he wasn't even uh, ready to play at this level because of the kind of bowling that DC has. They have a variety of, individuals. I mean, variety of bowlers who could make things difficult for a young, inexperienced wicketkeeper. And that is what proved today that finally the team management thought that it was better to go with a specialist wicketkeeper in Philip Salt. They made a couple of changes, and overall, it all seemed to have worked. But overall, when you are chasing down something like 128 to win a T20 game, and you make such a heavy weather of it that you actually, get into the last over, and you trade six wickets for those 128 runs. Not an impressive win, but then you have to, you know, give that kind of like margin to a team that is in search of its first win in six matches. So Delhi Capitals did look very rusty, even though they emerged as a as a team on the right side of the line for a change. But overall, it wasn't an impressive win. I'm sure Ricky Ponting won't be very happy. Of course, one big reason to bring some cheer into that dugout is that they finally won. For KKR, again, too many issues. Their openers were not clicking, so they came up with a brand new pair this time. Jagdishan was dropped, Gurbaz was dropped. So in place of that, you had Litton Das and Jason Roy. Now, Jason Roy is a fantastic batter. For me, I think he's one of the top five openers in this particular season, but he got his opportunity once. He looked good. He was a bit lucky. He should have been taken by like Marsh when he was 24 or 25. Went on to score 40 plus. But overall, when you have only two guys doing well for a team, uh, and two guys who are like doing it by turns, there was no partnership in the entire innings. If you look at somebody like Jason Roy, he batted till about 14, 15 overs. Thereafter, it was Russell. By the time Russell came and he wanted to, use the long handle or just to play the way he normally does, playing to his reputation, he couldn't do that. Poor fellow didn't have enough people at the other end. He saw two more wickets fall. By the 17th over, they were already nine down. But still, 127 was never going to be enough. But they were up against a side which, as I already said, they were struggling, and they're still struggling. 127 could have made things very difficult for a team which is not getting starts. And Delhi Capitals were lucky because the way they batted in the first six overs. And in those six overs, give credit to David Warner. Out of that six, out of those, in the first six overs, he scored 45 runs of 25 deliveries. But still, 127 was never going to be enough. But they were up against a side which, as I already said, they were struggling, and they're still struggling. 127 could have made things very difficult for a team which is not getting starts. And Delhi Capitals were lucky because the way they batted in the first six overs. And in those six overs, give credit to David Warner. Out of that six, out of those, in the first six overs, he scored 45 runs of 25 deliveries. Just don't forget that he is leading a team which is struggling for form. It's not that they don't have players to do the job, because most of them have gone out of form at the same time. But overall, in terms of quality, very ordinary form of cricket because the pitch is not bad. But then again, as I said, two teams which were trying not to lose another one. So one of them had to win, one of them had to lose again. And it turned out that the first victory for Delhi Capitals ended up as a hat trick of defeats for KKR.